life can be utterly overwhelming. There are a lot of choices out there and a lot of opportunities for you. Making the right choices starts in high school, and really it starts your 9th grade year. So don't wait until the end of your 11th grade year, because your senior year will already be full and overloaded with different things. You've got prom, you've got football games, you've got homecoming, you've got so many senior projects that you have to do, and your mind, you still want to have a good time your senior year, you know, being with your friends and with your family and enjoying that senior year. But to enjoy your senior year, it starts very early, because you are preparing for post-secondary, which is basically life planning. My name is Rhonda. Today I'm coming to you to talk to you a little bit about how to prepare for your upcoming year in high school. I am a retired high school counselor, and I have been asked several times some standard questions, and I thought that I would share those here on YouTube with you today. We're going to start out, since this is the month of July, this is the time that school counselors are working on schedules, but it is also a time that high school students should be working toward their post-secondary goals. And a lot of students, they wait until the end of their junior year to start this process. Actually, this process starts when they start earning credit, which is in the 9th grade. There are a lot of things that students can do to be prepared for what they choose to do, whether it is going to college, if it is enlisting in a branch of the military, or if it is just going out and applying for a job and out in the workforce. Today we're going to go over some basic things for the month of July that students in high school can start doing, and a little bit more about what each of these categories include. Now let me explain something about what you need to be doing as far as taking your high school schedule and making a decision on what you need to be doing for this upcoming school year. That schedule is based on different things. It is based on whether a student is working toward standard coursework or advanced coursework. And we're going to talk about standard and advanced coursework in a little bit. It also will have different electives that are required by your state as far as what they need. Here in the state of Alabama, there are 3 basic requirements as far as electives go, other than the core. Now, core would include like your English, your math, your science, or your social studies, sometimes known as history. Electives are different. You may ask, well, what are standard courses? What are advanced courses? There are different definitions throughout different states about what courses are considered advanced and what courses are considered standard. I know in the past when I would receive a transcript from a student who was transferring to us from outside the state of Alabama, it would list courses that did not meet the same standards that we had as far as the requirements for graduation here in our state. So be sure that you are aware of what is required in your state. You can actually receive a copy of your diploma requirements from your school counselor. Now let's talk about advanced courses. You may ask, what is an advanced course? High schools usually offer maybe an honors or an advanced course in core subjects, along with any type of world language or foreign language. Now, let me explain that these courses may have some type of criteria as far as what students may take those courses and what students may not take the courses. That is just based upon each individual high school. Also in that category, there is something called dual enrollment. Basically means two entities, and that is where a student works toward credit in high school and in college. Now, every state usually has an equivalency list, which lists college courses that you can take that would also be equivalent credit for high school courses. We have a lot of students that start in 10th grade taking History 201, and that counts as their 10th grade history course. In the state of Alabama, you must be in at least 10th grade and have a certain GPA along with other criteria to be eligible to take dual enrollment courses. But not only are you earning high school credit, but you're also starting to earn your college credit. So your whatever grade that you make in this course will actually be calculated into GPA. That is the grade point average. And not only are you creating a transcript with a grade point average in high school, but once you start dual enrollment courses, you're also starting your college transcript, which you have grade point average calculations. There are many colleges you need to understand that a certain grade is acceptable for being advanced. There are other programs you need to check into to make sure that that college dual enrollment credit transfers to another college. We have what's called the STARS Guide here in the state of Alabama that students can complete. That is actually a contract between the two-year college and the four-year college for that dual enrollment course. Upon completion, using the college transcript can actually be transferred to whatever college you decide to go to once you graduate high school. Early college is a lot like dual enrollment. This allows students early entrance to college by providing an opportunity to receive both high school diploma and be working toward your college diploma. Or associate degree, I should say, based on whatever that you decide to go into. We do have students that when they are doing their dual enrollment program, that the night that they graduate high school, they also earn an associate degree from a local two-year college, or they can get a certificate based on whatever program that they're enrolled in at that college. Early college allows students early entrance to college by providing an opportunity to receive both a high school diploma and either an associate degree or at least 60 credit hours toward a 4-year degree or certificate based on the program of study. Students who attend a public or private high school should check with their school counselor concerning criteria for eligibility. For homeschool students, you can basically check with a dual enrollment advisor at the college that you plan to be taking dual enrollment or early college classes from, and they will be able to guide you based on their criteria. Now, let me also say, if you know of what local college that you would like to do dual enrollment or early college, you can go to that website and you can actually in the search bar search for dual enrollment or early college, and it will give you a list of criteria and the steps of what you need to do to apply. Another advanced course that many of your high schools have is advanced placement. This is better known as AP courses. The last advanced course I want to talk about is IB courses. Now you may ask, what is IB? IB is International Baccalaureate, classes, and not all high schools offer these courses. Now, IB is under much like advanced placement, where you can actually earn college credit, and that college credit is earned by taking the course or not taking the course, but taking the exam at the end of the year that is offered. And the score on those exams was a 1 to a 5. And for some colleges, if they earned a 3, a 4, or a 5, they actually receive credit for certain college level courses. Now, every college is different about what they award credit for. Now, I will say this is just a tip for you to understand. Be sure that if you take an AP exam or an IB exam, that you have included the college that you want to go to, so that test score can be sent to them. Test scores from your high school are not accepted at the college level, much like entrance exams for ACT and SAT, and we'll talk about those in just a minute as well. But be sure that you go into your College Board account and you designate where you would like for your test scores to go to. And that can actually be done even right after you take the exam. You have to like the middle of June to be able to make that request when you log into your AP or College Board account. Now that you've gotten your schedule and you've decided, do you need to be taking standard classes or do you need to be taking advanced courses? You need to also focus on what goals you want to set for this upcoming school year. Now, goals might include working on good grades, raising your GPA, your grade point average, to help you out, what post-secondary options that you may consider, whether you know if you're attending college or not. Your focus should always be to keep that standard at a high level, so that if you do decide to go to college, you don't have to worry about a bad GPA or I didn't take, the college entrance exam that I needed to take. So keep these things in mind. Another thing that you can have on hand to start doing is just keeping a small notebook. Now, what this notebook would entail is everything that you're working toward for your post-secondary goals. Some of the things that you might keep in here is enrollment dates and deadlines, scholarships that you might be eligible for, and the links and the websites that you must attend, things that you're going to need, whether it be recommendation letters or if you're going to need to write an essay, usernames or passwords, your entrance exam information. All of that content in one simple notebook is really, really advisable. Another thing that I would actually advise my students was to keep up with a calendar so that you can mark deadline dates and when applications open up, along with those links, so that you can go online and apply as soon as possible. Making sure that you talk with a teacher about a recommendation letter 2 weeks ahead before a deadline is always advisable, or sooner, at all possible. It's hard. Teachers have a lot to do, and if you go in and say, hey, I need a recommendation letter tomorrow to go along with the scholarship that I'm applying for, that teacher may have a lot of things that they're needing to complete and could not write a recommendation letter that you really needed and do well on that. So be sure that you talk with your teachers early on and have a resume available to hand to that teacher once that you ask for a recommendation letter. And we'll talk more about that. If you would like to hear more about scholarships and recommendation letters and resumes, just leave a comment below, and I'm going to try to do one video each month based on preparing for post-secondary. Now, no matter what account that you're going to create to help you prepare for post-secondary, you're going to need to create a professional email address. Now, many students use their school email address, but let me explain something about school email. And a professional email address might include your first name, your last name, and some numbers that are important to you. Or it might be a first initial of your first name, or middle name and last name. Something that is very professional instead of some personal email address that you may use that has your nickname in it, or some other content. Be sure that you write down any accounts that you create. In other words, if you use Gmail for your professional email account, make sure you've got your Gmail, your username, your email address, and that you have down your password. Now let's talk about secure passwords. Many times when you create a secure password, it tells you 8 to 15 characters, or it may tell you to use a variety of upper and lowercase letters, using numbers, special characters. So writing down those things are very important. Let's talk about entrance exams. We're talking about like the ACT and the SAT. These type of entrance exams, they're what colleges use to make sure that they have proper placement. Maybe it might be English, it may be math, where you have to have a certain score on your ACT or your SAT to be eligible to take different courses on the college level. I am going to list the links down below in the description where you would go to register for an ACT account or a College Board account for the SAT that you can link to. I will also include a few other PDF links that will be helpful about fee waivers and what they cover for each of the exams. Now, if you're interested in a fee waiver for the ACT or the SAT, please make sure you get with your high school counselor and see if you're eligible to receive those. Now, I will say to be eligible for the ACT fee waiver, you must be an 11th or 12th grade student. These links to these websites will list a lot of important information that you need to know, like test dates, deadlines for registering for these entrance exams. Another thing that it may let you know is how to register, how to request for accommodations if you have an individualized education plan. What subjects you'll be testing on in each of these different tests, and so forth. Some of the things that you need before registering for these entrance exams is checking with your high school counselor to get an unofficial copy of your transcript. When you're completing that account information, it's going to ask you about courses that you've taken, courses that you are going to take, what kind of grades you made in the courses that you've already completed. And if you had an unofficial transcript in front of you, that would give you that important information that would be helpful when completing that account. Also, what you need to do is ask for the high school code. Now, if you're a homeschool student, on the SAT website and on the ACT website, they will give you a code to use. Have on hand the method of payment that you're going to use to pay for these exams. Yes, they do cost a certain amount of money, and the cost of those exams are on those websites. There sometimes is an additional fee if you decide you want to take the writing portion of a college entrance exam. I know this is a lot of information to take in just for the month of July, but there are a lot of things that you need to be doing to help prepare you for your post-secondary choices. So I hope the information I've given you today is a beginning tool for you to use to be able to start processing what you need to be doing at this point to help you prepare. If you have any questions or you would like to see additional videos pertaining to post-secondary options, just make a comment below and I will see, what I will put together in the month of August to post on the Rustic Cottage. If you like this video, the likes will help influence YouTube about, more content that is specific to preparing for post-secondary. So please feel free to add any questions or comments that you have below, and I will either answer your question as quickly as possible, or I will add a link where you can find that information. Thank you for visiting the Rustic Cottage, where all things begin. I hope you have a great day, and good luck on your post-secondary choices.